Okay, welcome to our day 4 notes in our Unit 1 on gross income. This is about another type of payment that you can receive for certain jobs. This is called piecework. So our objective for today, or in this video, is to calculate the total pay on a piecework basis. The term piecework refers to an amount of money paid to the employee, whoever is working, for each item of work completed. Okay, so I have a couple of examples of what this might entail. So when I was a kid, I distinctly remember being, very, very young, probably like 5 or 6 years old, and I would help my mom in her garden, and she told me that for every stone that I picked out of her garden, she would pay me 1 cent. So I just had to keep track of how many stones I was picking out of the garden, and I counted them up, and then she would pay me 1 cent for each. That is piecework, okay? The pay, if you have piecework as a payment method, the total pay, how much you make, is the rate per item. For me in that example, was 1 cent per rock, multiplied by the number of items or services, if we're to have in different examples, that were provided. So you multiply how many things you do or make by how much you make per whatever it is that you're doing or making. So let's do an example. Ramon Hernandez works for the National Cabinet Company. He is paid $8 for each cabinet he assembles. Last week he assembled 45 cabinets. This week he assembled 42 cabinets. What is his pay for each week? So we're looking at 2 different weeks here. Last week, his pay would have been, let's see, he did 45 cabinets, and they were $8. He got paid $8 for each one he assembled. So all we do, the number of items or services he provided, 45, multiplied by the rate per item. That's 45 times 8, and that's $360. This week, he only did 42, and he still got paid $8 per for each. So we do 42 times 8 is $336. So he did fewer cabinets this week, so his pay was a little bit less. Okay, that's it. That's the basic idea with piecework. Okay, now because it's so simple, a lot of times you have to read the whole question to understand what's going on in the question prompt. Because it's sometimes, because the math is so simple, they'll put added complications in, like this next one. Gabriel Santos is a Little League umpire. He earns $20 per game on weekdays and $25 per game on weekends. He umpires 14 weekday games and 3 weekend games. What is Gabriel's total pay? So this one, we have to be careful because there's different rates for different types of services provided. It's $20 for weekday games, $25 for weekend games. So in order to figure this out, let's do just his weekday games first. There's 14 of those, and he makes $20 per weekday game. 14 times 20 is $280. On weekends, he did 3 of those games, and he got paid $25 for each. 75, that's for weekends. However, we want the total that he gets paid. So that is $280 plus $75, $355 total. Okay, so we do have to be careful about how we're reading these sometimes. The last one on this side is very straightforward. John produced 124 items. His rate per item is 89 cents. What is his total pay? Very simple. 124 items times 89 cents. That means he got paid $110.36. Okay? We're going to go over to the back and we're going to do some more examples. So, this first one says, Federico Santos operates a salon. He charges $12 per haircut. Often, by Saturday, he is given 60 haircuts. Let me move that down for you. Sorry. He's given 60 haircuts. What's his total pay normally by the time he gets to Saturday? So if he does $12 per haircut, and we multiply that by 60 haircuts, That's 12 times 60. He is usually made, by that point, $720. Now, some people might say, it doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in. If you do 60 by 12, is that the same thing? And yes, it absolutely is. Number 2, Ellen Kolazinski picks strawberries every Wednesday morning. The farm pays her 25 cents per quart, and she normally picks 1,053 quarts. Find her total pay. Now, this is a case where you might panic and be like, I don't know what a quart is, but it doesn't matter. We have her price per quart, or her pay per quart, and we know how many quarts she picks. Okay, so a quart, even if you don't know what that unit of measure looks like, that's not too big a deal. So it's 25 cents per quart. She picks 1,053 of them. All we have to do is multiply those together. Her pay is $263.25. Okay, so those two are pretty straightforward. And again, if you want to practice this on your own, what I would do is pause the video and see if you can do these on your own, then unpause it and see if you get the same thing. Number 3, here's a tricky one. Paul Ames is a chrome plater at a local plant. If he plates 300 items or more, he is paid $1.25 for each. For less than 300 items, he is paid $0.75 each. What is his total pay if he plates 321 items on Wednesday and 154 items on Thursday? So, let's do this. On Wednesday, he plates 321 items. So plating is just he's a chrome plater. It's just it's something that needs to be done for whatever he's doing in his plant. Okay, so it's a verb. It's a service he's providing. On Wednesday, he plates 321 items, and it says if he plates 300 items or more, which he does, he's paid $1.25 for each. So on Wednesday, he's paid $1.25 for 321 items. Don't just look at that 300. Make sure you actually read and understand what's going on. 125 multiplied by 321 is $401.25. Now what happens on Thursday? He only plates 154 items. That's less than 300, so he's only paid 75 cents for each. On Thursday, he makes $115.50. If we want the total, we simply add those together. $115.50 plus $401.25. The total that he makes is $516.75. Okay? Again, like I said, a tricky one. You just have to read the question very carefully. Number 4. Antonio Rubio is a shirt silk screener. The owner will pay him 45 cents per shirt and 75 cents per sweatshirt. Remember that this would be cents since we're talking about, since there's no dollars, or there's a dollar sign, but there's no money in the dollar spot. So it's 45 cents per shirt and 75 cents per sweatshirt. On Tuesday, Rubio completed 288 shirts and 72 sweatshirts. What is his total pay? So we're going to figure out the pay for shirts first. He did 288 shirts at a rate of 45 cents per shirt. Make sure when you say 45 cents that you don't type in just 45, you got to type in 0.45 multiplied by 288. $129.60 just in shirts. For sweatshirts, he did 72 of those, and he got paid 75 cents per. 72 times 0.75 is $54. His total that he has paid is the sum of these. So we got to add them together. 54 plus 129.60. The total is $183.60. Okay? 2 more sort of tricky examples to finish up. Number 5. Jeremy Sullivan delivers newspapers for the Dispatch. He receives 14.2 cents per paper 6 days a week for the regular daily paper and 50 cents for the Sunday paper. He delivers 124 daily papers each day and 151 Sunday papers each week. What is his total pay for the week? Now this is a little tricky. So the first thing I'm going to do here is see how it says 14.2 cents per paper? Let's write that as a dollar amount. 14.2 cents, well, if we remember that there's 100 cents in a dollar, 14.2 cents is really 0.142 if we write it like this. And I think it's a good idea to write it like that because it's a little confusing sometimes when you have cents. This is how much 14.2 cents is. And I know I say a lot that amounts of money, if you have a certain number of cents, it's supposed to be either 0 or 2 decimal places. Sometimes there can be 3, but often, 99% of the time, unless I tell you otherwise, you want only 2 decimal places. This is a rare case where we have 3 decimal places, but that's because the problem specifies that we're talking about tenths of a cent. Okay? So that's how much he receives for delivering each paper on regular days. And he does that 6 days a week for the daily paper. For the Sunday paper, he gets 50 cents every time he delivers it. 50 cents, written with a dollar sign in front of it, is 0.50. And if you're ever confused about how to get from cents to dollars, you just do the number of cents divided by 100, 0.50. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how much he makes in one day delivering the newspaper, a regular weekday. On a weekday, he makes 0.142 cents per paper, and he delivers 124 papers. So that means that each day he makes 17.608 per day. Now, what we're going to do with that, if that's how much he makes per day, we need to figure out how much he makes for the entire week. So he has 6 days of delivering that. Okay, he works for each day 151. Oh, okay, here it is. 14.2 cents per paper, 6 days per week. So for the 6 weekdays, we need to take the 17.608 and multiply by 6. And that gives us $105.65. I'm going to round that from 0.648 to 65 cents because that is what would be on the paycheck. Okay? So this is for all the weekdays. Now we need to figure out how much he makes on Sundays. He delivers 151 Sunday papers at 50 cents per. That means on Sundays, he makes $75.50. The total that he makes then is how much he makes on the regular 6 days of the week, plus the total he makes on Sunday. For the first 6 days of the week, he makes $105.65, plus what he makes on Sunday, $75.50. So in total, for the week, he makes $181.15. Okay? Because we added all those together. You see how there's kind of a lot to this, but if you read the question, it becomes clear what you have to do. Okay, let's see here. What else? We have the last question. Number 6. Sherelle Cleaves operates an oil change and tune-up service. She charges $33.95 per oil change, $72.50 for tuning a 4-cylinder engine, $82.50 to tune a 6-cylinder engine, and $92.50 to tune an 8-cylinder engine. What are the charges for a week in which she did 35 oil changes, tuned 5 4-cylinder engines, 7 6-cylinder engines, and 2 8-cylinder engines? So again, you really have to read to understand what's going on here. Let's do the oil changes first. $33.95 per oil change, and she did 35 of those. Means that from that she made $1,188.25. For the 4-cylinder engine, she made $72.50 per tune-up, and she did 5 of them, Be careful that you don't say 4 of them. It's a 4-cylinder engine. It's a type of engine. She tuned 5 of them, so we have to multiply $72.50 by 5. And that gives us $362.50. Notice that it says just 0.5. We have to remember, since it's an amount of money, to add the 0 on at the end. How many 6 cylinders did she do? Well, at a cost of at a price of $82.50 per. That's how much she's making per. Let's see, she did 7 of those. So $82.50 times 7. That would be $577.50. And for the 8-cylinder engines, she charges $92.50, and she did 2 of those. $185. So there's a summary of all of the stuff that was done this week. So now we need the total. We add up all of the services that she's provided, $1,188.25, plus $362.50, plus $577.50, plus $185. And it turns out that the total comes out to be $2,313.25. 2313.25. That's a total amount that she made from all of her work. Okay? So, as you can hopefully see, piecework really isn't too bad. You do have to read the questions very carefully, though, because since it's such an easy concept, a lot of times the questions on the test are just a little bit more involved to make you think a little bit more about the math. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you when you talk about salaries. Bye.